Hey, what's going on, guys? You got Elliot here, Morgan here, and as you can see from the title, this is our top 10 list for 2017. So we are excited to get this list to you guys. I'm pretty sure the Emoji Movie is going to make Morgan's top 5. We'll see about that. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and let's get right into this list. Alrighty, guys, so like I said, this is our top 10s list, and we're super excited about it. There were some movies that we wanted to wait kind of to the end of the year till we saw before we kind of made our list, and we were actually really pleasantly surprised what we got in the last few weeks. So if you've seen our channel, we've done some reviews recently. So this is our list. So some movies, obviously, some movies won't be on the list that you guys loved, that we missed the opportunity to see, but I think we got a pretty solid list. I haven't seen hers yet, so just to let you guys know, I'll be listening to her list for the first time and vice versa for her. So we're super excited about it. You'll notice with some of the explanations of some of the movies we have on our list, we didn't do reviews on because we started our channel in September, but some of them we do have reviews on that you can see on our channel, so definitely check those out. But yeah, so the way we're going to kind of do this breakdown on our list, I'm always on YouTube. I watch more YouTube videos than I do actual television, so I want to kind of get this is our first top 10s list, so I want to get an idea how I want to do this. So Curtis, this list is kind of taken from the Smos Know from Collider Videos, Mark Ellis, and Christian Holoff. You guys are watching this. You guys are awesome. But anyway, we're going to do, Morgan's going to do her first 10 through 6. First, we're going to do honorable mentions, but then 10 through 6, I'm going to do my 10 through 6. Then our 5 through 2, and then we're going to talk about our number 1 movie of the year. So with that being said, honorable mentions. What were some movies that just missed your top 10 list?
All right. So this one I know is going to be on Elliot's top 10. I don't know where, but Wonder Woman did not make my top 10. I wasn't absolutely like in love with the movie itself, but what it represents, I really do respect, and I definitely know it's going to be a movie that is going to be talked about for ages. So, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 didn't make my top 10, but it was something that I enjoyed. It is one of my favorites from the Marvel
Cinematic Universe, MCU,
the Marvel Universe is what I was thinking of. And then The Shape of Water. We saw that like right before the year ended. Yeah. And I honestly did not think that I would really, really like it that much, but I really did. After taking time to like soak it in, it was really beautifully shot.
We have a review on the channel.
But it didn't make my top 10. But definitely an honorable mention.
All right, well, start with number 10 through 6. I'll let you start off.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just do my
All right. So, number 10, I have Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Oh, wow. I didn't think it was going to even make your list.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I really put it on my list is because it made me excited for what's to come.
Okay. So Star Wars, all right.
Number 9 is Logan. Just because it was like
another surprise.
End of an era kind of deal, and it was so emotional. So I really liked it, and that little girl, man, she was a badass. So yeah. Number 8 was Thor Ragnarok. I really, really had a lot of fun in that movie. And yeah, it was just really cool. So
great explanations, I would say. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't want to talk too much. I love like the music with it. It was very 80s, like nostalgia, and that's just that's me.
Like this is the best Thor movie.
Yeah, I mean I'm a 90s kid, but like just I'm very into like 70s, 80s kind of stuff too. So
okay, so Thor Ragnarok
throwback.
Okay,
and then number 7 is Spider-Man: Homecoming. So I had so much fun in that movie. It was so good. It just made me really excited. It was fresh to me, you know, from the other Spider-Man,
from any other Spider-Man
deal.
Yeah. They had
God, he is just, and now I can't think of his name. Tom Holland. He is such an awesome Spider-Man. Like I love him. And then his little friend, I can't remember his name, but he was. I just love them together. But Tom Holland, really love. So I enjoyed that, and I was like really excited for when it would come out, so we could buy it. So
yeah,
definitely a movie I'll watch over and over again.
Yeah, it has a lot of watchability.
Yeah. And then number 6, I have It. So that was like one of my favorites of 2017.
Yeah.
Didn't make it to the top 5, but it was something I really thoroughly enjoyed. Again, it's like that nostalgic aspect for me. It was so much better than the original, and it was the 90s series, version, whatever. And it was so much fun. The actors, like in 2017. Yeah, in 2016, like young actors, I think Stranger Things really made like these young actors are really, you know, they're on the come up, and
they're given more to do than previous generations.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, they've had young
so
actors
impressive.
in movies before, but yeah,
it's
they
so
give them
crazy
more material.
to see these young actors who don't even have maybe that much experience in, you know, the film world, and they're just blowing it away.
Yeah.
So and Finn Wolfhard being in that, loved him. And then I can't remember I don't know the kid's name in real life, but the one that had the inhaler and he thought everything, the hypochondriac kid, he was one of my favorites.
Was it Stan? I can't remember.
But he was super funny. And I loved it. I cannot wait for it to come out.
Chapter 2,
and I just can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. So I can watch it like now. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So I mean, looking at your list, I'm telling you guys, I'm shocked by. There's 3 superhero movies, and Morgan. So we've been together for almost 10 years now. You knew
Spider-Man was going to be on.
Yeah, but I didn't think Logan and Star Wars. I mean, she surprised me with that one. I mean, she goes. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to say drag her to the theater, but she does a lot of these action superhero movies just because she knows that I like them, so she goes and is a good sport with it. But I'm surprised those made your list. I mean, a good top, 10 through 6. So it was very shocking.
Right.
So
go ahead.
So with mine, so I'll start off with my honorable mentions. Also, too, kind of I should have said this up top, but the way I came up with my list is watchability played a bit of a factor. What I felt while watching the movie, after I left the movie, things like that kind of factored into my list. So before I get into my 10 through 6, my honorable mentions, I'll start off with Thor. Thor Ragnarok did not make my list, even though it was like Morgan said, we did a review for it, so you can see my score there. I loved the movie, had a great time. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed what Thor did. This was the best Thor we've seen, but it just didn't make my list.
Just looking at your list, I'm like, oh my god, what's going to be on there now?
Justice League did not make my list. As you guys know from my trailer, we did our non-spoiler. We did a spoiler review.
I'm kidding.
I'm a big DC fan. I hope that things are coming up for DC. I mean, you got Wonder Woman, which knocked it out of the park. And that's been about it. Everything else has been kind of divisive. Some people really hate some of the products that they've put out. So hopefully we get some more things with Justice League. Hopefully we get a sequel. But it didn't make my list. But I did enjoy the film, but it didn't make my list. Another one was Split. It came out the beginning of last year. And it was a great movie. I know you didn't really like it that much, but I enjoyed the performance.
I think I didn't like it because I was expecting more from it than what I got.
Sure, so. But I love the performance of James McAvoy. He's definitely going to get nominated for something. Job. Yeah, that was great. Guardians didn't make my list, but I loved it. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, they are so awesome. I love Volume 2 is great too, but just didn't make my list. And then my last 2, Gerald's Game was a Netflix original, which I thought was a really good movie, really surprising. Came out the same time that it came out. That's a
really good one.
So it was definitely a good, well done adaptation of a Stephen King book, but it didn't make my list. And then last but not least was The Shape of Water. As we did our review, as you guys can see on our channel, we enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the film. Just it wasn't enough to make it into my top 10. So with that being said, and I can't wait. So number 10 is It. So it's number 10 on my list.
Whoa.
You thought it was going to be higher? Or?
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it. I mean, it made my top 10. Okay. And the other ones on my list did a little bit more for me, but I enjoyed it. Like Morgan said, it's a fun movie. It's fun. I don't think it's as terrifying as it might be.
No.
I mean, I think we're kind of numb to it at this point too.
There were some little freaky parts.
Yeah, but I think that at the end of the day, they did one of the better jobs of, they presented it as a horror movie, and you get scared. I mean, I'm pretty sure people were terrified from it, but the performances from the kids, Pennywise was great. I can't wait to see the sequel, but I mean, it was a really great movie. And again, like I said, I guess I don't want to sound like, it was a fun time. It was a horror movie, but I had a fun time watching the characters. It was a lot of comedy in it. Also, there's some really dark imagery in the movie. And the DVD is going to be coming out pretty soon. But I think I'm going to probably buy it. But then there's a director's cut, so I want to see what the director's cut has to offer. But I enjoyed it. Number 10. Number 9 was Star Wars.
I'm trying to not.
The Last Jedi, as you guys saw from the review, I really loved it. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, this isn't my Star Wars. I hate it." I enjoyed it. I love this was the best we got out of Luke Skywalker. That's my personal opinion. I thought they gave him so much more to do in these films, and we got a great payoff. Kylo, I think the biggest thing walking away from the film was the future of Star Wars. Episode 9 with J.J. Abrams. Kylo Ren in the Rey storyline, I just want to see where that lands. I mean, I'm super excited to what's to come in the Star Wars universe. And I thought Rian Johnson did a great job. I'm excited to see what his next trilogy has to do in the Star Wars universe. So Star Wars is my number 9. Number 8, as we said at the beginning, there were some movies we wanted to wait to see before we made our list. But this movie actually came out in the summer. Heard some things about it, just didn't get around to it. But then on New Year's Day,
I know what it is.
We saw it, and it blew me away. It was the funniest movie of the year, and that is number 8 is The Big Sick. That movie was just, we watched it on New Year's with your mom. We brought in New Year's with a great movie. I mean, it's the best comedy of the year, in my opinion. The best romantic comedy. I can't think of too many romantic comedies that we got in 2017, but if there are some, this knocked it out of the park. From like the comedy, it was hilarious. I mean, they had comedians in the film, but sometimes you get some comedians in the film and the script kind of doesn't play to their sensibilities and what makes them funny. But I think that all the comedians that was in this film shine. But more on the dramatic side, this movie was had more drama and just emotion.
Not what we were expecting.
Yeah, it was just, and honestly, I've heard of The Big Sick. I didn't see any trailers, but I knew kind of what it was about just from the title alone, but just was blown away.
I was not blown
away by the final product. So The Big Sick was definitely
we need to buy it.
A great movie. Yeah, it was something that I really enjoyed. That made my number 8. So number 7 was another movie that we kind of saw in the last few weeks, which was Lady Bird. If you guys saw the review, love the film. Great coming of age story. All the characters did a great job. The dynamic between the mom and Lady Bird was just so great. It was just, like I said, when you saw our review for it, again, one of the negatives was it was a coming of age story. We've seen some of those storylines play out, but I just thought that they did a better job at it. Great comedic moments, great dramatic moments. It was just nice to see you dropped into a part of this young lady's life and you see it play out within a year and just seeing the ups and downs. They had so many different themes of people suffering from depression, going to college. I mean, there's just so many things you can relate to in this movie, and that's why I made my top 10 at number 7. Then my number 6 was Logan. That is another movie that came out in the beginning of last year. We didn't get the opportunity to see it at the theater, but I rarely buy movies I don't get to see, but I just knew it had a lot to offer. I have all the X-Men movies, including Wolverine, the Origins, and also the Wolverine. And I'm a big fan of Hugh Jackman. I hope he comes back with his new Marvel Fox deal. He says he's not coming back, but I mean, if they throw enough money at him, I hope that he can bring the claws back one time. But in particular, Logan. Such a great film, as you said when it made your list. It
just left an impression.
Yeah, with Logan, I mean, with Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, they've been doing this since 2000. The first X-Men came out in 2000, so 17 years. And yes, obviously there's been some continuity issues with X-Men. They keep playing with the timeline. They don't really reference to certain things, but it was just such a great movie. And like you said,
the way it made you feel,
right? And it wasn't even. Honestly, it's not a. People put a bubble around superhero movies. This was a great movie which had superhero elements, superhero characters, but it was still a great movie, and that's really what I loved about it. And X-23, like you said, was such a great character. And hopefully we get more of her, even with the Fox and Disney deal. Who knows what they got to come, but I'm just excited what I got with this film and excited for the future. So that is my number 6. Again, it at number 10, Star Wars at number 9, The Big 6 at number 8, and then Lady Bird at number 7, and then Logan. So that was my 6 through 10. Which now leads to your 5 through 2.
All right. So I'm going to start off. My number 5 was The Big Sick, actually. Yeah. So I think you guys are going to kind of see like a theme with my top 5 of movies that I like really enjoy, which aren't like those superhero movies.
Big budget, more,
But yeah, it was so incredible. And I had actually never heard of it until Elliot, I went to Redbox to get Baby Driver, and he's like, get The Big Sick. I had never heard of it. I just saw like on the little Redbox thing, it had a picture of the main cast. The main cast, so I did not know what to expect, and oh my god, it was so good. So I cannot wait to buy it and add it to our collection. It is definitely a movie that I would watch again.
Yeah, it's a lot of watchability to it for sure.
Number 4 is Lady Bird. So, like Elliot said, just to kind of echo that, it was just really cool. I mean, you really felt like you were like watching her life unravel before you. It was just great characters. I just loved it. Oh my god, like one of my favorites. Number 3 is Call Me by Your Name. So that movie, the way it made me feel after I left, I had felt like, number one, I had traveled to Italy. So I felt like I was transported from St. Louis into Italy. Also, the acting was incredible. The story was incredible. The score was incredible. Everything was so beautiful. And then also, I think Elliot and I had a really unique experience because of the movie theater that we had saw it in. Kind of brought you back to that 80s feel. So again, it's the nostalgia for me. So yeah, I think like 3 through 5 for me is really, I mean, it's kind of like who I am. Like I'm very much into a love story, right? And then a little bit of comedy too. Like some of my favorite movies, like classic movies to me would be like Sleepless in Seattle, While You Were Sleeping, things like that. So I just love a really good love story. And I think in all 3 of those movies, there was a little love storyline. Number 2. Get Out. Get Out right now. That was my, yes, that was weird. No, Get Out, it was so good. I remember seeing a trailer on Facebook. One of my sister's friends had posted, it was like, oh my God, this movie's gonna be crazy. And then I watched it and I was like, oh my God, this movie's gonna be crazy. And then I showed Elliot and Elliot's like,
I just didn't know what to expect from it.
He was not excited, but
I'm a Jordan Peele fan. I was like, Jordan Peele's directing it. They got
he's like, we're not gonna see that in the movie theater. Like, we're gonna wait until it comes out. And I was like, no, we're going to go because you always make me go to every movie you want to go to. So my turn, right? So we went and we saw it and I just was really amazed. Jordan Peele did such a great job.
His first movie. Just like
everyone.
Call Me By Your Name. Oh, not, I'm sorry, Lady Bird. Yeah.
Lady Bird, yeah. Such a great film. Such a story that needed to be told. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, that was my number 2. Yeah, I guess it's your turn.
Alrighty, so my 5 through 2, great list by the way. I mean, the echo,
you already know what my number 1 is.
I know what your number 1. I figure, yeah, but I mean, great list. Your 5 through 2 is really good. So my number 5 is Wonder Woman. So for me, Wonder Woman. Now, Grant, we're gonna probably do another video as far as like top superhero movies of 2017. But and I think some movies might be a little bit, as a film, might be a little bit better than Wonder Woman in the sense of like the third act for Wonder Woman is a hit or miss. I mean, I can watch it. I've watched it several times since we bought it. But there's some, the villain and Dr. Poison, whatever. But forget that. The thing that I walked away with Wonder Woman was like how incredible it is to see. And number one, I have the DVD, so I always, when I buy DVDs, I watch special features. Seeing that they had the majority of not only the cast, but the majority of behind the scenes were women that get to do things with this film that they never been able to opportunity to do before. I mean, there's been women directors prior to Patty Jenkins and people, DPs, all the different things you could do in making a movie, but just the fact that they made an effort to put women in this role to portray this such a powerful character and powerful woman. And I just think that movies like Logan and Spider-Man are great. 2017, we'll remember it for great films that we got the Logans, we got Spider-Man, we got Thor, we got the Justice League for the first time. But I think Wonder Woman's going to have such a more of a lasting effect than these movies do. As far as what people are going to remember, 2017 was a year that not only, number one, it was the first DC beloved film. Like, people love Wonder Woman. We got like a 91, not that scores matter, but the critics enjoyed it. Then also, I mean, it made a ton of money. It blew out the expectations of what people thought. But I think the biggest thing is, Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins will be remembered for bringing, we got Captain Marvel coming out in a couple of years with Brie Larson and with Marvel and some other female-led characters. But Wonder Woman, I love the character Wonder Woman, but I thought
Gal Gadot
embodies. Like, I
kind of believe she is Wonder Woman.
She is Wonder Woman in real life. Her and Henry Cavill are the best things in the DC right now. And I just can't say enough about Wonder Woman. It's such a great, again, minus the third act and some of the villains, it's a great movie. It has a lot of watchability. But at the end of the day, I think this movie does a great job for women in the industry, minorities in the industry. I mean, there's so many things you could take away from the film, or what it did as a film and what it's going to do for the rest of the industry. So Wonder Woman had to make my top 5. So it was a great movie, and I think it's going to have a lasting effect in Hollywood. Number 4 is Coco. Coco was a surprise movie for me. Now,
I can't believe that's in your top 5.
I don't know why. I love the movie. So Pixar has a history of great movies. Toy Story, my favorite is The Incredibles, came away for the sequel. I think of Ratatouille. I think of just so many things that they have to offer. Now, the last few years have been kind of hit or miss. I believe The Good Dinosaur came out. I believe that's a Pixar film. It went under the radar. Wasn't a big fan of Inside Out, and there's another movie I'm forgetting, but it was just like, okay, well,
you're already not a huge fan of Pixar or Disney. Like, those aren't shoes that
I just told you I love Toy Story. I can watch Toy Story. I can watch The Incredibles. I don't
watch
it as much
Incredibles
as you. You're comparing it to what you do.
Whatever. If I was like, hey, can we watch Toy Story? He'd be like, no.
No, she's making this. Anyway, so Pixar, I have a great track record with Pixar, but the last few years have been kind of hit or miss. But Coco was a very pleasant surprise in a sense of it was an emotional movie. It was a funny movie. I'm not of a Latino descent, but I feel like it represented the culture properly as far as the Day of the Dead, how important it is to that particular culture as far as, respecting the people that they love and not necessarily forgetting them. They in honor of them, they celebrate them once, celebrate their passing and the celebration of their life every year. I just think they did a great job of doing that. And Miguel and the music, the soundtrack, the visuals, I think Pixar is a home run. I mean, financially it's doing good. The critics loved it. But minus that, I enjoyed the film. We saw it twice. It's just a great film. I think it's definitely deserving of being on a lot of people's top 10. But definitely, particularly with mine, it's number 4 for me. So with that leads me to my number 3 film, which is Get Out. Another movie that came out at the very beginning of 2017, but stayed with me throughout the year. And then I watch it whenever it's on HBO. We don't have it quite yet, but we're definitely going to pick it up sometime soon. But it's such a great movie. It has such more watchability. And also just hearing the little tidbits of what Jordan Peele said. If you watch it a certain angle, like watching his girlfriend, I can't think of her name right now, Allison Williams' character, I can't think of her name in the movie, but watching the little subtle things that she does throughout the movie that showed you that she was a villain throughout the movie, but you just didn't really notice it. It's a movie you should definitely watch more than once. Yeah, like even the comment, like the black mold, like what's wrong with the basement? There's a black mold in there, and obviously
he said that wasn't even a thing.
Somebody but I mean, even
used that as a theory, but he was like, "That's really smart, man."
So much stuff that's just so great, and also too, I think it kind of not that we have obviously. We have a certain thing going on in a racial relationship. Her parents are phenomenal. But I mean, just speaking as an African American, there are those stereotypes that sometimes you do feel uncomfortable with a room full of certain culture, certain people. And I think this movie it's not a comedy, but you can just relate to. Some people can relate to it more than others. But I just feel like this movie did a great job.
Daniel Kaluuya, is that his name?
Phenomenal, yeah. He's a great actor, yeah. And I just think that, like I said, speaking as an African American man, I thought that Jordan Peele brought a good film to the wide audience, and everyone's accepting this movie, which I think is great. Again, not the scores matter, but high 90s on Rotten Tomatoes. Made a lot of money, which is great, and I'm just excited to see what Jordan Peele has to offer. But Get Out, to me, just like similar to Wonder Woman, I think that this is a movie that is going to be able to withstand the years coming forward, as far as it's a film that meant something, that did something, that had a message, execute the message, and it took itself seriously, and it's just a great film. So, and then that leads me into my number 2, which is Call Me By Your Name.
I have no idea
if you guys saw my review, and if you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, I loved Call Me By Your Name. I mean, the film is just done beautifully. The story, no matter if, like I said in our review, if you're gay or straight, you're like, man, you're like, well, whatever the case may be, love is love, no matter what the age is, no matter what the color is, the ethnicity, the background.
Maybe not age. Maybe don't go that far. Well, I'm saying, in that movie,
in this movie, 17, 26, whatever. I mean, minus when you're over 17 or 18, and then you want to date someone older than that. I don't think age matters in that sense. Love is love. And I thought that this was a beautifully done movie displaying love. And also just everything, like Morgan said, feeling like you're in Italy, feeling like you're in the 80s. We're not even from the 80s, but I feel like they did a great job of bringing out the 80s. And just little things like that. The score, I mean, it's just a phenomenal film.
Timothy Chalamet,
he's going to win some awards.
Oh my God.
It was just a great film, and that's why I made my number 2. So down to our number 1. I think I already know what yours is.
Well, you know what mine is. I honestly
I don't know.
have
You
no
don't know
clue.
what mine is. So.
I was going to cheat and look, but I didn't. Yeah. I kept myself from doing it.
So I'll let you go ahead and tell your number 1.
Okay.
I know what it is.
Well, what is it then?
It's Coco.
Yeah, it's Coco. So Coco... no, hands down, my number 1 movie. Like Elliot said, we saw it twice. Both times, absolutely loved it. Yeah. I cried both times. I mean, I was so excited for it, number 1. So there was a lot of build up just to go see this movie. Like, I had been waiting and waiting since it had come out. And then I think, especially when you have a personal connection to a movie, that makes it even more, long-lasting effect on you. So I did And the movie was so incredible, so powerful.
Yeah.
I think it was tastefully done. And I think, it's a great way to show other people another culture and the way that they respect and, pay homage to those that, are no longer here.
Yeah.
And I just think that El Dia de los Muertos is such a beautiful tradition. And I was so excited to see it. It was beautiful. The movie was freaking beautiful.
Pixar, even those movies I didn't really like from Pixar, every movie they do, they always step their game up, visually speaking, and also storyline wise. But visually, this is a beautiful film.
And the storyline, I mean, honestly, I had kind of pieced together what was going to happen. But I think from a child's perspective, I don't think that they would catch on as much. So I do definitely think that there was a twist to it, right? Mm-hmm. Which was, kind of cool, which you don't always get in a kid's movie.
Called Coco, and the main character.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Coco,
but you don't always get in a kid's movie these kinds of twists. And I think it is a movie that is going to continue to be talked about. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Like you said,
I can't wait until I own it. Elliot is going to kill me because I'm going to watch it every moment I get. I'm going to go to sleep to it every single night for the next 17 years.
Yeah, no, Coco is definitely a phenomenal film. And like you said, it's a tough thing to bring a movie, especially a kids movie. I mean, obviously Disney and Pixar, they're mass audiences kids, but they also want to talk to adults, and it's a hard thing to be able to topic of death for a kids movie, and they did a great job of doing that. So
I do have to say one more thing about the movie. That soundtrack, though.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god! Elliot and I were just like un poco loco. Like we were just jamming out. I had to Apple, music that one
Remember
for
Me
sure.
Is the McGill
Remember
version
Me. Oh my god!
The movie's version of it was great.
Yes.
So great number one. I think your list is really strong. A lot of surprises. Like I say, your number, 3 superhero movies in there. I knew that a lot of the movies that we recently saw was going to make it.
I will say, out of my top 5, 4 of them I saw the last 2 months of the year. Which I was so glad I did see those movies because they just were great for 2017. Mm-hmm. I will say though, we're gonna go see more movies this year because there are quite a few that I wish I would have saw last year.
We were lucky enough to have this particular theater. We're in St. Louis. Not all markets have these more independent films, and if they do, they're there for one night or just crazy times you can only see them, or just a short time at the theater. So we're definitely going to keep an eye out on those more quieter films, films that come out of Sundance, which will be this month in January is when you get those. I mean, Call Me by Your Name came out last January and destroyed it at Sundance. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for those more independent movies because we got some great ones this year. Yeah. So with that, my number one, I don't think you probably don't even know, is Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, I knew it! Oh my god, that was on the tip of my tongue.
Please stop being sorry. But so Blade Runner 2049 came out October 6th. We did our review. And just looking back at the review, I watched the review the other day. I don't think I even just expressed. I was just in awe. Like, this thinking about this has been 3 months later. Visually stunning. It is Roger Deakins, phenomenal. Denis Villeneuve, I mean, he's my favorite director. Sicario, I watched the other night. I mean, Arrival was my favorite film in 2016. I mean, this man is just flawless in my eyes. But Blade Runner 2049, I enjoy it more than Blade Runner. I'm sorry for you Blade Runner fans, diehard fans that love the original. 2049 is my Blade Runner. Mm-hmm. I thought that Harrison Ford was a much more drawn-out character, had more to do in this film. Not more to do, but I just thought he was more a relatable character than he was in the original. Ryan Gosling was great. Just everything top to bottom. I can't even think of the young lady's name, the villain of the film. I think her name was Pain or Love. I can't remember her name. I think it was Love, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway,
I think Love.
Every character in this film is just great. The film, even with the 2 hour and 45 minutes, I wish it was 3 hours and 45 minutes. It ran long for her. I can't wait to buy it. It's coming out, I believe, in a couple weeks. I'm definitely going to buy the best version possible for it. We have a 4K TV. The visuals, the story, everything top to bottom was so great. I know it didn't do well at the box office, but, for those that know about Blade Runner, the first one didn't do that well. But it doesn't matter to me. This one was the best film of the year for so many reasons. Like I said, visually speaking, storyline, the director is my number one director. The cinematographer is my number one cinematographer. I mean, everything this movie had to do or brought was just so great to me. And Blade Runner was my favorite film in 2017.
I knew that.
Yeah, it was such a great film. So that was it, guys. 30 minutes long. We had a lot to say.
Crap.
We appreciate you guys sticking with us and watching our top 10s list. We would love to know what you guys thought of our list. Also, what is your list? I would love to know what films stood out to you guys in 2017, as well as just following us on our social media accounts as well and telling us, giving us your top 10 list there as well. So you can find us below here on those social media accounts to follow us and continue this conversation. But some things to look out for. As you guys saw, we just did some reviews for The Shape of Water. We did Call Me By Your Name. We did Bright, Jumanji. So we got a lot of reviews for you guys can check out on our channel. But things to look forward to. We're going to do shortly here is our most anticipated films of 2018. So we just did our 2017. So those are going to be encapsulated in our little box here. But there's some films that I'm really looking forward to this 2018 coming up here. So definitely keep an eye out for that review. We're also going to have some reviews coming up here for movies. We're going to see Insidious here soon. We're going to do a review for the 12 Strong. So some movies to look forward to or to look out for on our channel. We'll be doing that soon. So definitely keep an eye out on that. As always, guys, I got to come up with some kind of outro tagline for our videos, so we'll work on that. But Howdy 5 or later, as they say, and I'll call me by your name. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you guys again later. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share this video amongst all your fans and family and everyone that follows you on the social media outlets, as well as subscribe to our channel. We have some awesome reviews, some great TV show reviews, and with a lot of cool content coming for you guys soon. So definitely subscribe to that channel there, and we will see you guys again.